What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and help you guys better understand the price action of Tesla. I'm also going to talk about the overall stock market and what's actually going on in Ukraine and with the Fed, as these things could affect the market and Tesla going forward. I'm also going to talk about the latest pieces of news affecting Tesla and what Elon Musk just liked. That makes me very excited for the future of this company. Now, before I get into any more details about what Elon Musk has been putting on his Twitter page, before I talk about the technical analysis of Tesla stock, I do have to mention some very important things first. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. And not only benefits me, benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link down below and in the description. If you do sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100, you're going to qualify for up to 5 free stocks, each worth up to $3,500. Once again, that's free money. And if you want your chance, please check out the link down below and deposit $100 into Moomoo to get your chance. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So, looking at Tesla, we're currently down about 0.7% for the day. We're not even down 1%, guys, so it wasn't anything too significant. And I did tell you guys in my previous video, I saw more volatility that was really going forward. I did think that we could be a little bit more in the green today because of the fact that the news is still spreading about Tesla's Berlin Gigafactory, but we ended up a little bit in the red. So let's just talk about what happened to the share price and what does this actually mean going forward. So I told you guys in my previous video. Now, we found that the resistance of Tesla would be at the $890 range. I did not see us beating it. I thought we would end up closing around the 880s. We ended up closing at 864, so I was off by about like $16. So I wasn't that far off, but as you guys know, like this is what we anticipated because of the high volatility. Now, the thing about the market is that Tesla didn't do anything to really cause it to be in the red. It was the entire market that affected it. So let's go down right over here. You could see NEO was in the red, AMC was red, GME. I mean, the SPY was down about 1.52%, as you guys can see right here. And this downward trend did perpetuate across the entire market. We could see the VIX start going up as a response to that. And the VIX does look like it's not ready to start dropping from here on out. We could see a little bit more green for it, which means that the market as a result could be inversely correlated or even more red going into tomorrow. Now, the IWM was a little bit red, and so was this right here, which is the NASDAQ. Now, this affected many tech stocks and Tesla as well, causing it to be in the red. And you guys can see right here, the price action was a little bit similar to Tesla. We had high volatility in the beginning, then a bit of a drop quite after. And look at Tesla, it's similar, right? It's a little bit similar, high volatility, and we started descending just a little bit, but we did end up holding our support. So strong support for Tesla is at $850 or $852, very close to that range. So we're looking pretty good right there, and I do expect that to hold up for the remainder of the week. Now, going into the future, it does depend actually on how on earth this entire situation of Ukraine really plays out, because right now, guys, things are getting pretty darn tense right now. We can see that there have been more and more airstrikes from Russia, really hurting the people of Ukraine, and there also have been some attacks on the president. They've actually tried to do some horrible things, but at the end of the day, he actually is all right. He made it, and I know it's very sad, right? And this, as a result, is leading to lots of uncertainty. The market does not like uncertainty, so as a result, we're seeing Jerome Powell. He's going to be testifying in front of Congress tomorrow and on Thursday. And I believe that this article does say the correct thing, and that is the fact that the current risks by the Fed, the current risks right now, they could really pivot the policy changes by Powell, as he is going to be addressing inflation and other things like that. As a result, he may not be as hawkish as many people had anticipated, maybe becoming a little bit more on the dovish side. So when it comes to interest rate hikes, I believe that they are pretty close to being, how should I say, kind of priced in with the way the market is right now. So I don't see us dropping too hard after they do end up getting unveiled. Now, I anticipate a 25 basis point hike. I've said that in my previous videos, and I do see that coming out going forward. Now, Powell is going to announce other important things, so be prepared for that, guys. We could see very high volatility going into tomorrow, but I don't think he's going to try to tank the market too hard. Now, currently, the fear and greed index is showing extreme fear right now. The market's very uncertain because of this whole Ukraine situation that's getting more and more tense and dangerous. But I don't see us dropping extremely hard as of right now. It doesn't look like things have escalated even worse than we had anticipated. It's more like we saw this coming, guys. It's not like we were caught off guard. We knew this was happening for the last couple of weeks. So it's not necessarily going to hurt the market as badly as before. So for Tesla, let's look at what happened to the share price. Let me first check out the 1 day chart. Obviously, 890 was the resistance. We dropped. We got lots of sell and buy indicators from the super trend, and we got one last buy indication from the very end, which means we did have a pretty good closing, so to speak. It wasn't horrible. We were just barely in the red, but we're still looking pretty darn healthy, guys. Nothing is too scary right now. So let's look at the 3 month chart. I know I have these lines kind of like all over the place, but let's zoom in just a little bit. I'm using 2 hour candles, and you guys can see. Okay, if this is clear enough, we're still above the exponential moving averages, using them as, how should I say, support. Right now we have the 48 EMA that's at 853. That is where Tesla ended up bouncing off of, and we do have support around 852 to 850. So the $850 range of support does look like it's going to hold up as of right now. That is a pretty good sign, and we're still respecting this upward trend right over here. So things are still looking all right. Okay, now let's look at some other indicators real quick before I get into any more details. So looking at the MACD, as of right now, it's still flipped with the 9 day moving average. This is an indicator that Tesla has more room to keep on running. It's just had a small pullback just like today. And the DMI, I was showing you guys this yesterday, the positive and negative lines were kind of flipping. This is an indication that we would see high volatility. And also, we wouldn't just be green every single day. We'd see some red, some green, some red back and forth. Also, the RSI is at 57.65. That's a pretty good sign. So we're showing more strength. We're looking pretty good, but we're not necessarily going to just be green every day, guys. There are going to be some pullbacks here and there. The market's very capricious right now. We're still waiting on jobs reports. We're waiting on what the Fed is doing, the whole Ukraine situation. There's so many things right now that are causing the market to kind of like bounce back and forth. There's very high volatility right now. However, guys, remember, historically, we are in a midterm year. The midterm elections are coming this year. And what typically happens, from something I noticed is that when midterms come, we often see a weak Q1. And by the time we get to Q2, things start to actually improve at least slightly. So I'm hoping that as we enter Q2, guys, things are going to get much better for Tesla and the market, and we should see a lot more green from here on out. But as of right now, we're just waiting on the Fed. We're waiting for this Ukraine situation to really kind of clear up a little bit. And once that happens, that's when we should start seeing more and more move to the upside. As of right now, it looks a little bit more volatile. So for my price prediction for Tesla, I predict that tomorrow, let me bring up the 5 day chart actually before I show you what I'm predicting. I predict, okay, the 850 level of support is going to hold up, but I think we're going to be a little bit more green tomorrow. I think we might run as high as 878 once again. We'll keep going a little bit higher to the 880s, then we're going to be hit with more resistance. We'll end up dropping here and there just a little bit and a little bit, and we'll end up closing in the 870s, just slightly in the green. That's my prediction, guys. I do expect a green day for tomorrow, but be prepared for anything, because at the end of the day, predicting Tesla from the day-to-day basis is not always going to be perfect, but there is one thing I know. As you guys know, I'm very, very bullish for the long term. It's not just me, guys. Check this out right here. One of the largest pension plans in all of Canada has quadrupled its stake into Tesla for Q4 of 2021, which is what their filing reports just showed. Once again, very bullish news, because they're not going to be, big pensions. They cannot take very, very massive risks. That means that they've done a very, very in-depth risk assessment, and they have found that Tesla is very, very sustainable. It's very strong, and they don't see it as a super risky play. They see it as something that's going to have steady growth going into the future based off their EPS and their revenue and other factors like that. And they're very bullish, right? They wouldn't buy this thing and hold it for this long if they're going to just sell. They think Tesla's going to crash really hard. I don't necessarily think that. They've been buying and holding, and they're not quitting either. And nor should anyone simply quit thinking this thing is going to crash, because I don't see it that way. Now, you guys can do whatever you want with your own money, but I'm just putting the facts ahead of you that I'm still very bullish for Tesla going into the future, and so are many pension plans. Now, another very bullish piece of news is this right over here. The fact that it has been reported that Tesla Giga Berlin is likely to be opening on the 22nd of March, and they're still awaiting their approval. So, like I told you guys yesterday, the final date is not confirmed yet. I told you guys that it could be a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Some reports were saying it's going to happen this Friday. Other reports said it's going to happen at the end of March. We don't truly know yet, but there is one thing that is confirmed. And that is there's been so much progress over the last couple of months. They're at the final approval state. So very soon I expect this to be opening. And once this opens, it's going to be massive for Tesla. So this is in correlation with something I told you guys, and that is the fact that during midterm elections, typically around Q2 is when things really start to heat up. And I think by Q2, that's when we're really going to see the results of this really show. So in Q2, guys, and Q2 starts like in a matter of weeks, right? By Q2, I really expect us to see a lot more green. I think it's going to be a very good quarter. I think we're going to see a good recovery from there, from the drop that we're in. We should see Tunstall go well above the 900s by then, in my opinion. So, still looks really, really good for this year. Now, the extent at which we go and the volatility is dependent on the current market conditions. But as of right now, I do anticipate, like I said, Jerome Powell not being as hawkish and things looking a lot better. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is this right over here. Basically, Tesla Rati stated that Tesla continues Cybertruck test around the Fremont factory. And this is just a reminder, guys, that within the next, how should I say, maybe year to year and a half, I would say before that, the Cybertruck is going to be released, in my opinion. That's how soon I think it's going to be. It was delayed until 2023. So pretty soon it's going to come out, and that's super bullish news, massive news. So I've been telling you guys this in the last couple of weeks. We saw anticipation of the big gigafactories opening. So we have a gigafactory opening perhaps in a few weeks. We have the Texas opening party in, I believe, April. On top of that, we have the Cybertruck coming out sometime next year. Guys, there's so many bullish catalysts for this company. It is not a dead cat in the water. It has insane potential. So, anyways, that's how I wanted to end this video. And by the way, this tweet is something Elon Musk liked. I forgot to mention that. Elon Musk liked this tweet, so he's reminding us of how important and how pivotal the Cybertruck is going to be. And it makes me very bullish because they're testing it and it's going to be released relatively soon. But anyways, Tesla is not a dead cat in the water. From a day-to-day basis, we're going to see high volatility. It's going to bounce between support and resistance. And I don't see a massive move quite yet, but for the future, it's looking very strong. We're probably going to see massive moves towards the end of March, maybe by April, and going into the future, even bigger moves to come. Tesla is not dead, guys. It's a monster that's waiting to explode, and I'm still very bullish and very excited and pleased to be a part of this community. I thank each and every one of you. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.